Have you ever felt like there's a deeper version of you waiting to be discovered? Something powerful, something divine, something ancient that lives within your soul, but has been asleep for far too long in the noise of modern life. We often forget that we are more than just flesh and bone. We are energy, we are light, we are consciousness. Thousands of years ago, in a time lost to myth and memory, there existed a civilization known as Atlantis, a place not only of technological greatness, but of deep spiritual understanding. The people of Atlantis believed that every human carried within them a spark of divine power, a sacred potential that, if awakened, could transform not only the self, but the world. Over time, these teachings were buried, scattered, and forgotten. But what if I told you that these ancient truths can still be accessed today, that the wisdom of Atlantis can guide you back to your true self, help you unlock the strength of your mind, ignite the fire of your spirit, and awaken the sacred energy within you? In this video, we will explore 35 forgotten teachings from Atlantis, each one holding the potential to elevate your life, shift your mindset, and help you rediscover who you truly are. This isn't just history. This is a spiritual map, a path back to your inner power. So take a deep breath, open your heart, and let us begin the journey back to the divine within you. The wisdom of Atlantis was not just about science or technology. It was about harmony, balance, and understanding the sacred connection between the self and the universe. The Atlanteans believed that true power came from within, from mastering your inner world before trying to influence the outer world. They taught that every thought carried energy, every emotion had frequency, and every word had the power to heal or to harm. In their temples, learning was not separated from living. Knowledge was passed down through experience, meditation, and direct connection to the higher self. They believed the body was a temple, the mind a portal, and the soul a key to divine energy. They honored the earth, the stars, the oceans, and the breath of life that moved through all things. One of their deepest teachings was that you are not separate from the divine. You are not here to chase success only in the material world. You are here to awaken the light within, to grow through your struggles, and to rise through your awareness. They believed that pain was not a punishment, but a teacher, that stillness was not weakness, but a gateway to clarity. The Atlanteans understood the laws of vibration and intention. They knew how to align their energy with purpose, how to speak life into their dreams, how to silence the noise of fear and tune into the frequency of truth. They believed that when you master yourself, you master your destiny. That true wisdom is not about knowing everything, but about remembering who you truly are. This section is not about mythology. It's a reminder that deep within your being lies a wisdom just as ancient, just as sacred, and just as powerful. A wisdom waiting to be remembered, waiting to be activated, waiting for you to believe in it once again. The journey to unlocking divine power begins with self-awareness. The ancient Atlanteans taught that before you can change your life, you must first understand yourself, your thoughts, your patterns, your emotions, and your energy, because only when you see yourself clearly can you begin to master your reality. Teaching number 1 is the art of presence. The Atlanteans believed that being fully present in the moment allowed your soul to connect with the energy of life itself. They practiced conscious breathing, silent observation, and stillness, not to escape life, but to feel it more deeply. They knew that when you are present, fear fades and clarity rises. Teaching number 2 is to know your shadows, the parts of you that you hide, suppress, or fear. The Atlanteans embraced their inner darkness as a tool for growth. They understood that light cannot exist without shadow, and that healing comes from facing your wounds with compassion. They taught that the more you understand your fears, the more power you reclaim from them. Teaching number 3 is energy awareness. They believed that every emotion is a form of energy, and that being mindful of how you feel is the key to mastering your state. Joy, anger, peace, sadness, all of these are signals, not problems. They taught how to shift energy through breath, movement, sound, and intention. Teaching number 4 is emotional alignment. The Atlanteans didn't suppress emotion. They flowed with it. They taught that when you resist emotion, it grows stronger, but when you allow it to move through you, it transforms into wisdom. They understood that your emotions are sacred messengers guiding you toward balance and growth. Teaching number 5 is the power of reflection. Every evening, they would sit in silence and reflect on their thoughts, words, and actions from the day, not to judge themselves, but to understand themselves more deeply. This daily practice helped them grow in self-responsibility and taught them how to correct their path with love, not shame. Teaching number 6 is cultivating inner stillness. In a world full of noise, stillness becomes a superpower. They taught that silence is not empty. It is full of answers. In the stillness you hear your inner voice, the voice of your higher self, the guidance that is always there, but only heard when the outer world grows quiet. And teaching number 7 is balance between mind, body, and spirit. They saw these three aspects not as separate parts, but as one flowing system. When one is out of harmony, the others feel it too. They taught practices that nourished all three: movement for the body, meditation for the mind, and devotion for the spirit. This holistic harmony was the foundation of their strength. By embracing these 7 teachings, you begin to shift inward to awaken the deeper layers of your being. You begin to build a strong foundation, one that supports your growth, protects your peace, and prepares you for the divine energy waiting to rise within you. Once self-awareness and inner harmony have been established, the next step is to activate your inner energy, the divine force that moves through you and fuels your every thought, action, and dream. The Atlanteans believed that energy is not just something you have, it is something you are. And when directed with clarity and purpose, it becomes your greatest tool for transformation. Teaching number 8 is the sacred breath. They believed that breath is the bridge between the body and the spirit, and through conscious breathing, you can awaken dormant energy, calm the mind, and charge your body with vitality. They practiced rhythmic breathing every morning to align themselves with universal energy and set the tone for the day. Teaching number 9 is intention setting, not just thinking about what you want, but feeling it, seeing it, and aligning your energy with it. They taught that intention is the seed of all creation. When you focus your energy with purpose, the universe responds, because intention is energy in motion. Teaching number 10 is movement with meaning. The Atlanteans used dance, posture, and sacred gestures to activate energy centers in the body. They didn't move just to exercise. They moved to awaken, to release, and to flow. They believed that stagnant energy is the root of emotional and spiritual blockages, and that through conscious movement, energy is freed and life force is restored. Teaching number 11 is igniting passion. They taught that passion is not something to chase outside of you. It is something to awaken inside of you. They encouraged people to follow what lights them up, to create, to explore, to express, because when you do what you love, your energy expands, your mind sharpens, and your spirit rises. Teaching number 12 is using challenges as fuel. The Atlanteans didn't fear obstacles. They welcomed them as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. They believed that every setback holds sacred energy, and that when you face your pain with courage, it transforms into personal power. This mindset kept them moving forward, even in difficulty. Teaching number 13 is focusing your will. They taught that the human will is a powerful force when directed with discipline and clarity. They trained their minds to stay focused on what matters, to avoid distraction, and to act with consistency. They believed that success is not about speed, but about direction and inner fire. Teaching number 14 is harnessing the morning. Each sunrise was a sacred moment in Atlantis, a symbol of renewal and divine opportunity. They used the early hours for self-connection, meditation, journaling, and goal setting. They taught that the way you begin your day shapes your energy for everything that follows. Teaching number 15 is the power of words. The Atlanteans understood that words are vibrations, and when spoken with clarity and truth, they activate energy. They chose their words carefully, they spoke with intention, and they avoided negative self-talk, because they knew the first person you must speak life into is yourself. Teaching number 16 is inspired action. They believed that motivation comes from movement, not the other way around. When you take even the smallest step toward your purpose, energy begins to rise, clarity starts to appear, and motivation naturally follows. The Atlanteans acted when they felt guided, not when everything felt perfect. They trusted the flow. And teaching number 17 is commitment to growth. They believed that energy is maintained through progress, and that each day is a chance to evolve. They didn't seek perfection. They sought evolution, and that mindset created resilience, focus, and unstoppable inner momentum. By practicing these teachings, you begin to light the fire within. You create your own motivation, not from pressure, but from purpose. And that energy becomes the fuel that lifts you through every challenge, every dream, and every transformation that lies ahead. With your energy awakened and your motivation burning from within, the Atlantean path leads us into the realm of mental and spiritual growth, for they believe that the true purpose of life is to learn, to grow, and to evolve the soul through every experience, challenge, and lesson. Teaching number 18 is the clarity of thought. The Atlanteans trained their minds to become still, focused, and purposeful. They believed that a scattered mind leads to a scattered life, but a clear mind becomes a vessel for divine insight, through daily mental practices like visualization and mindful silence. They created space for wisdom to flow in. Teaching number 19 is to question and seek. The Atlanteans never stopped learning. They asked powerful questions, not just about the world around them, but about the universe within. They believed that true wisdom comes not from answers, but from the courage to ask deeper questions, to wonder, and to explore beyond the surface. Teaching number 20 is sacred curiosity. They taught that curiosity is a spiritual gift, a force that opens doors and removes fear. They remained lifelong learners, not because they lacked knowledge, but because they honored how infinite knowledge truly is. Every new idea, every story, every experience became a teacher to them. Teaching number 21 is learning from stillness. They believed that the universe whispers wisdom in the silence. In moments of stillness and solitude, they would receive downloads of insight and intuitive knowledge. They trained their minds to listen deeply, because they knew that not all learning comes from books or people. Some of the most powerful lessons come from within. Teaching number 22 is mental discipline, the ability to guide thoughts with intention. They taught that the mind is like a garden, and if left unchecked, weeds will grow. But when cultivated with care and focus, the mind produces clarity, peace, and purpose. They trained their thoughts to align with truth, with love, and with higher values. Teaching number 23 is emotional intelligence. They believed that learning to understand your emotions and the emotions of others was one of the highest forms of intelligence. They practiced empathy, active listening, and self-control, not as a way to please others, but as a way to remain in harmony with themselves and with the flow of life. Teaching number 24 is mental resilience, the strength to stay calm in chaos, to keep learning when things get hard, and to grow even in the face of pain. They taught that setbacks are not signs of weakness, but invitations to build strength and patience. They valued persistence over perfection, and progress over pride. Teaching number 25 is wisdom through experience. The Atlanteans believed that spiritual knowledge must be lived, not just understood. It is not enough to read or hear truth. You must live it, feel it, and express it in your daily life. They taught that real transformation comes not from information, but from embodiment. Teaching number 26 is alignment with higher truth. They believed that every soul has access to divine intelligence when it quiets the ego and opens the heart. They studied the stars, the seasons, and sacred symbols because they saw the universe as a great teacher. And truth is something to align with, not something to conquer. And teaching number 27 is learning through love. They believed that love is the highest frequency for receiving and integrating knowledge. When you learn with love, you open your heart. Your mind becomes soft and receptive, and your spirit becomes stronger. They saw love not as weakness, but as the source of all intelligence and divine power. By embracing these teachings, you don't just become smarter. You become wiser, more connected, and more alive. You become a student of the universe, and your journey of growth becomes sacred. Every lesson becomes a gift, and your soul expands with every new layer of understanding. As your mind expands and your spirit awakens, the final journey the Atlanteans guide us through is the path of purpose and higher consciousness. For all the learning and growth means little if it does not lead us to live with intention, to serve something greater, and to walk in harmony with our divine essence. Teaching number 28 is discovering your soul's calling. The Atlanteans believed that each person was born with a unique vibration, a sacred mission encoded in their spirit. They taught that purpose is not something you chase outside of you. It is something you uncover within, through listening to your intuition and following the energy that makes you feel most alive. Teaching number 29 is living in alignment with values. They honored principles such as truth, compassion, humility, and strength, not as abstract ideals, but as daily practices. They believed that when you act in harmony with your values, you begin to embody divine energy, and everything you touch becomes sacred. Teaching number 30 is the power of service. They taught that to truly unlock divine power, one must learn to serve others with love, not from a place of ego or obligation, but from the realization that we are all connected. They believed that giving, helping, and uplifting others is one of the highest acts of spiritual mastery, and through service, the soul expands. Teaching number 31 is co-creation with the universe. They believed that life is not something that happens to you. It is something you co-create with divine forces. Your thoughts, intentions, and actions ripple through the field of energy, shaping reality. They practiced manifestation not from greed, but from purpose, aligning their inner frequency with the good they wished to create. Teaching number 32 is timeless responsibility. They viewed life not only in terms of one lifetime, but as part of a greater journey of the soul, they acted with care, knowing that their choices shaped not only their own path, but the future of generations to come. They honored the earth, their ancestors, and the unborn with the same love and reverence. Teaching number 33 is awakening collective consciousness. They believed that as one person awakens, it affects the whole. They knew that their thoughts, emotions, and energy radiated into the collective, and by raising their own vibration, they helped lift others without even speaking. They lived as examples, quietly inspiring others to rise. Teaching number 34 is the sacredness of legacy. They taught that what you leave behind is not in what you own, but in the lives you touch, the light you share, and the wisdom you pass on. They built with love, they taught with heart, and they lived in a way that generations would remember. They believed that true immortality is found in impact, not in fame. And teaching number 35 is union with the divine, the ultimate Atlantean wisdom. They believed that your true self is divine, and that awakening is the process of remembering this truth. They taught that heaven is not a place you go, but a state of being you enter when you live in full alignment with your soul, when you act with love, think with clarity, and walk with peace. These final teachings are not just knowledge, they are invitations to rise, to live with deep meaning, to honor your presence on this earth, and to awaken the divine spark that has always been within you. The Atlanteans whisper across time, not to tell us who to become, but to remind us who we already are. You are powerful, you are purposeful, and your life is sacred. As we come to the end of our journey through the timeless wisdom of Atlantis, it's important to remember that these teachings are not just stories from an ancient civilization. They are tools, they are keys to unlocking the divine power within you. Each lesson, each teaching, is an invitation to transform, to rise, and to step into your fullest potential. This wisdom is not lost. It's always been within you, waiting to be remembered. The ancient Atlanteans understood the importance of living in harmony with the universe, with our true self, and with each other. They lived by principles that can guide us today as we navigate through our own lives, our own challenges, and our own growth. These teachings invite us to reconnect with our inner wisdom, to live with purpose, to awaken the energy within, and to embrace the divine power that lies dormant. It's not just about knowledge, it's about transformation. It's about aligning your actions with your highest self. When you live from this place, the world around you begins to shift. You begin to see possibilities where there were once limitations. You begin to feel a deep sense of peace and power that was always yours to claim. So, as we close this chapter, remember that the divine spark within you is always guiding you, always calling you to rise higher, to step into your purpose, and to create a life filled with meaning. The journey is yours to continue. And the wisdom of Atlantis is a part of you, within you, waiting to be unleashed. Trust in it, trust in yourself, and know that you have everything you need to unlock your divine power and live the life you are meant to live. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I hope these teachings inspire you to live with greater awareness, greater purpose, and greater love. Until next time, may you walk in the light of your highest self.